Hello and welcome to Longevity with Light. I'm your host, Leslie Klein, and I'm so excited about this wearable light technology that I've been wearing for a whole year already. So, this month we're talking about the powerful combination of Alavida and Aeon. And our special guest today is Dr. Jennifer Smith, who is a board certified doctor of naturopathy with expertise in resolving autoimmune conditions. But before we get to Dr. Jen, I want to introduce you to my co host. First, we have Beth Steele. Hello, Beth. Good to see you.
Hi, good to see
And
you.
also Tamisa Leiden. So,
Hello.
ladies, I'm going to ask Beth if you would please read this disclaimer, and here it is for you.
Thank you. Disclaimer: LifeWave products are not intended to diagnose, treat, cure, or prevent any disease. The information provided is for educational purposes only and should not be considered medical advice. Individual results may vary. Consult with a healthcare professional. We have one on with us before using LifeWave products, especially if you have a medical condition or are taking medications.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank
So
you.
let me introduce Dr. Jen. She has over 20 years of experience in the holistic health field, including the operation of a comprehensive wellness center. Uh, Dr. Jennifer now offers group wellness workshops and integrative consulting services for medical practitioners. So let's please welcome to the stage Dr. Jennifer Smith.
Okay. Hello. Thank you, Leslie. Thank you, everyone.
Hi,
You're
welcome
welcome.
back.
It's an honor to be
Yes.
here. Thank you.
Yes, we're so grateful that you're here.
Yeah.
So, Dr. Jen, we're going to get right into it because we only have 30 minutes. So first, I'm gonna ask you to tell us a little bit about your journey into the patching and how you found the patches, and how you got into this. Because and maybe even what a doctor of naturopathy is, because I've heard of DOs and chiropractors, of course, and all kinds of different non-traditional doctors. Maybe you can let us know a little bit about what a doctor of naturopathy is.
Okay.
First.
Yeah. Naturopathy or naturopathy. I'm considered a traditional naturopathy, doctor of naturopathy. And so my training, we look at the whole person. We're looking for root cause. And we work with multiple modalities ranging from nutrition and homeopathy, sometimes detoxification, herbalism, phototherapy. I had phototherapy, a whole phototherapy room in my practice. Aromatherapy, just multiple different modalities. And my specialty was autoimmune conditions, helping people with that. And it's not even what I set out to do. It's just kind of what God sent through my door. And I figured it out. And that's kind of what I became known for. But anyway, I was introduced to this technology a little over 3 years ago by a dear friend of mine. And she kept trying to tell me about it, but didn't quite understand how it worked. She just knew that it did work. And, I had just closed my practice, was doing some consulting work. We had bought a place at the beach. So I was kind of driving back and forth and getting that all set up and just kind of catching my breath after being in practice for a while and running a whole wellness center. It was a lot. And, she kept trying to tell me, and I said, well, gosh, I thought I'd heard of everything. I don't know why I haven't heard of this. And I told her, I said, as a naturopath, I always have people trying to, kind of bombarding me, wanting me to try their product or distribute it. And I said, I'm actually interested in yours, but I don't have the time right now, is what I told her. I really didn't. But she kept dripping on me, fortunately. And, fast forward a couple of months, and I injured my back pretty badly. And I actually had a rib protruding from my back. And naturally, my chiropractor was out of town. And I texted her and I said, doesn't that stem cell patch company make one specifically for acute pain? And She said, yeah, call me. And I said, I can't even talk. I hurt so bad. Can't I just come buy a few from you? And that's exactly what happened. I bought some ice wave patches from her, which brought my pain level down from about an 8 to a 2 in probably 7 minutes. And I was sold. That's how all this happened. And suddenly I had the time to do the research and, and here I am. So that's kind of how it all happened.
That's wonderful. Now, I did neglect to let our audience know that we're streaming to several different platforms. So you can actually comment and we can see your comments. So please comment and please ask any questions the um, throughout our discussion tonight. So I am seeing if we have any comments, not just right now. So let me ask you this question. Our flagship patch is the X39. So can you talk a little bit about that just before we get into the Alavida and Aeon combination, which is what we're going to focus on tonight?
Of course, X39 is a fantastic patch. It's our foundational patch. And I always say, if you do nothing else for yourself, patch with X39. So they're all a form of wearable phototherapy. So unlike in my practice, I had phototherapy light panels that, my clients stood in front of and around. And so these patches use your own body as the power source. And they're considered chiral, meaning reflective. And so the crystal lattice structure is what makes each of the 10 different patches that LifeWave makes unique. So in the case of X39, it reflects back specific wavelengths of light back into the body, which elevates the GHK copper peptide. And then it resets over 4,000 of our genes to a younger, healthier state, one of which is P63 that allows your stem cells to rise in tandem with that GHK copper peptide. And that just delivers a myriad of benefits, ranging from wound healing to pain relief, to just overall repair and regeneration. And it's always going to go to work on what's most critically needed in the body first. And so, for example, if somebody were to want to wear this patch to repair and regenerate their injured shoulder, what they may not realize is they may have a fatty liver or a failing kidney or a heart condition or something else going on in their body that they may not even know about. And so our bodies are so divinely designed. Our army of master cells is going to go to work on what's most critically needed in the body first. And it might be that shoulder, or it might be the heart, it might be the liver, kidneys, whatever. So, but it is working, this patch is working from the moment it's placed on your body. And again, it's so foundational. Anybody can benefit from this patch. So this is really the starting point, and I absolutely love this patch. You can accomplish so much in the body with X39, provided that you're patient and you're consistent and you're well hydrated. Being well hydrated is important as well.
That's great. So now let's get into the Alavida and the Aeon patches. And I do have just the sample of the two. There's the Aeon and the Alavida.
Boy, where do I begin? I love these two patches so much. I'm going to go ahead and start with Aeon. Aeon is the second half of what we refer to as the dynamic duo, because Aeon and X39 work so well together. Again, you can accomplish so much in the body with these two patches. The reason for that is, especially Americans are known as a nation of inflammation. It's a very common issue with America. We tend to have high stress levels and a lot of inflammation. And so the way Aeon works, I would say in a nutshell, I'm not always good at that, but Aeon elevates SOD, superoxide dismutase, which is a powerful antioxidant that our bodies naturally produce. In fact, with certain illnesses, some people will go to holistic health clinics and they'll receive SOD injections. So rather than receiving an exogenous injection, I was thrilled when I learned that you can elevate your own native or endogenous levels of SOD. And SOD does so much for the body, including lowering stress levels by balancing the autonomic nervous system. and also by lowering inflammation. And so the Aeon patch, it serves as a broad spectrum anti-inflammatory. So not just one or two types of inflammation, but really broad spectrum, including C-reactive proteins, which rise in response to inflammation. C-reactive proteins are indicated in all, multiple health conditions, chronic conditions, different types of heart disease, rheumatoid arthritis, things like that. Those people tend to have high levels of C-reactive proteins, and so if you've got that, that leads to additional health problems. So so getting that in check, lowering inflammation and even C-reactive proteins, that can help kind of clear the pathway for your newly reactivated stem cells from X39 to more easily do the repair and regeneration work. So that's the one benefit that Aeon brings by elevating SOD, is it lowers inflammation. And then also I mentioned helps lower stress levels because it helps balance the autonomic nervous system. And so our autonomic nervous system has two branches to it. There's sympathetic, also known as fight, flight, or freeze. You've probably heard of that. And then there's parasympathetic, also known as rest, digest, repair. And so sympathetic mode, we're giving that, to save our lives, really. If you think back from thousands of years ago, if a saber-tooth tiger's chasing after you, you need to kick into sympathetic mode to get out of there, because when that happens, your body, you almost have superpowers. And so when you shift over into sympathetic, you've probably heard stories of maybe a child being trapped under a car, and mama has the strength. She kicks into sympathetic mode and lifts that 2,000-pound car off of her baby and saves the baby. And so so that is what that is the autonomic nervous system sympathetic mode. But when your body gives extra energy to certain body parts, for example, different bodily changes occur, or biological changes, I should say. So for example, your pupils might dilate so you can see in all directions to get out of there. Your blood pressure and heart rate might increase to help you run like the wind, and to help you, have super strength to make you really extra strong. And so when your body gives extra energy to one or two or more parts of the body, it has to take from other parts of the body, because you only have so much energy in your energy bank. And typically the three most common areas that it takes energy from would be, for example, the digestive system. Ever notice how when you're stressed, you tend to have an upset stomach? But it takes from the digestive system that energy, because who needs to be sitting down eating a four-course meal when a tiger is trying to make you his meal? Another bodily system that the autonomic nervous system, I should say sympathetic, can take from would be the reproductive system, because who needs to be making babies when a tiger's chasing after you? And then the third system that it's common for it to take from is the immune system. Because if you've got the sniffles, who cares? A tiger's chasing after you. So when you're in that sympathetic mode, it can drain other bodily systems to give extra energy to keep you in that heightened state of awareness. But if you're not digesting properly, if you're not, you've got reproductive issues or issues of the reproductive system, and if you've got immune function issues, that leads to other things. So by balancing that, because we tend to, we no longer have saber-tooth tigers chasing after us, but we have mean bosses, too much screen time. There's the 24-hour news cycle. There's traffic. There's social media. There's, not enough outdoor time. Some people still work in cubicles and hardly ever see the light of day. So those things will tend to keep us in sympathetic mode. So I just love how the Aeon patch helps to balance that out, because the patches are really all about homeostasis, all about balance, because they're non-transdermal. They're not putting anything into you. They're just helping to balance what you've already got. So Aeon is a fantastic patch for lowering stress and inflammation. That's something that anybody and everybody can benefit from. So how about Alavida? Shall I go into that?
Yes, please.
All right. These are my favorite patches tonight. Alavida, I jokingly call this the trophy wife patch, but Alavida is known as the skin patch. So the mechanism or the way that it works is it elevates the epithalamin peptide that our pineal glands produce, and it's kind of known as the fountain of youth peptide. And some people actually get epitalin injections. So that is the synthetic form of that peptide. So I always say, don't take it if you can make it, whether it's vitamin D, you're always better off to step out into the sun and trigger your body's ability to produce vitamin D versus taking a supplement. It's going to be more bioavailable. Same with collagen. X39 elevates endogenous collagen levels, among other things. GHK copper peptide, same thing. It elevates that. Glutathione, I could go on and on. So that's why I say don't take it if you can make it. There are certain nutrients and molecules that our body can produce on its own. So you're always going to be better off if you can elevate those in your own body versus taking an exogenous supplement. Vitamin C, we don't produce on our own. So that is obtained through food and or supplementation. So that would be an example. But Alavida, it elevates the epithalamin peptide to repair the skin from the inside out. And not only your exterior skin, which your exterior skin, it's very important. It's your largest organ, and it's your first line of defense against foreign invaders, pathogens, things like that. But it also helps repair internal skin. So think gut lining, esophageal lining, things like that. And by elevating that peptide epithalamin, it helps trigger the release of more telomerase. And telomerase is an enzyme that helps lengthen your telomeres. When I found that out, I was sold. I couldn't believe it, because as we age, our telomeres are the ends of our chromosomes and our DNA. And as we age, and depending upon our lifestyle, they tend to kind of fray and shorten. And telomere length is directly correlated to longevity. And so I always knew that if you could maintain your telomere length, you were doing great. But when I found out that the Alavida patch actually lengthens, it can lengthen telomeres, that was mind blowing to me. So that is, I think, the best benefit of all. But as you know, none of the patches have no drug interactions, no side effects, but they do have plenty of side benefits. And one of the other side benefits of the Alavida patch is that it helps, it also tells our pineal gland to produce slightly more optimal levels of melatonin, the sleep hormone. And so for that reason, the Alavida patch is recommended for nighttime use versus the X39 patch, which is recommended for daytime use, because one of the side benefits of this is increased energy. So you wouldn't experience that during the daytime. But I wear the Alavida patch every single night. I absolutely love it. And I also wear the Aeon patch every night. It can be worn day or night, but I wear the Aeon patch at night because I was wearing several other patches during the daytime. And I've had a pretty distinctive curve in my spine between my shoulder blades as long as I can remember. My back has hurt me my entire life since I was a child. And so now I place the Aeon patch on that spot every night when I go to bed. I wake up pain-free. And the Alavida patch I wear in different locations. Sometimes I'll place it right over the pineal gland, and that can help with fine lines and wrinkles, and also definitely with sleep. And sometimes I have vivid dreams because of it. And other times I might wear the Alavida patch in the décolleté area. That's kind of the quickest way to tell a woman's age, even if she has had work done, which I have not. But if she's had the Botox or the facelift or whatever, you can still see that in the neck. So I sometimes wear Alavida there in the décolleté area. And my first son was born, he was very, very breached, let's say. He was a challenge. So I did get a C-section for him. And I've had a scar there for, he's almost 21. He'll be 21 in 2 weeks. And my C-section scar, I was wearing the Alavida patch a couple finger widths below the belly button for like the first year, and you can't even see that scar anymore. It's completely gone, even though it was not, 19 years old at the time. So that was yeah, that was a great benefit to that. But love, love, love these patches. I think I probably covered about everything. Are there some questions that I should probably answer?
Yes, I'm going to bring our ladies, Tamisa and Beth, onto the screen. And do either of you have any questions so far?
Oh, Dr. Jennifer, you explain things so well that I hardly have any questions, because everything I was thinking, oh, I've got to ask her this when we come back on, you answered it before you finished. So, and I love the way you explain the Alavida is like the trophy wife patch. That's really interesting.
Well,
I'm going to hang on to that one.
yeah.
There's even more to the story. My husband is a little younger than I am. He's 18 months younger. And a few years ago, when I turned 52, I jokingly said, boy, because we joke that I'm such low maintenance. I don't do anything to myself and for myself. And I said, boy, I better get my act together, or you're going to trade me in on two 26-year-olds. He wouldn't know what to do with two 26-year-olds. But anyway, I said that, and it was a year later, and this was dropped in my lap. So now I've got Alavida, so that's kind of why I call it the trophy wife patch.
I think that's a great way of putting that. But I tell you, the explanation of how that affects our skin from the inside out is huge, because so many people are just trying to lather something on that costs a lot of money and probably doesn't do near what this patch can do by activating your own peptides within. So thank you for your explanations. They were so perfect, and I love it. I didn't know Aeon was so valuable with all the inflammations that we have. So thank you for that.
Oh, my pleasure. Yeah, multiple types of inflammation. And, also, I know it's a popular thing to get peptide injections right now, and that's, no judgment, whatever. But most of the peptides that they're getting injected, they're synthetic. And so when you can elevate your own native, natural, endogenous peptides, again, your body's going to assimilate that so much better. So again, don't take it if you can make it. If you can make it on your own, you're always going to be better off.
So true.
Great.
And there's always a risk with an injection too.
Always. I mean, yeah, because not only are a lot of the peptides synthetic, but they have to add stabilizers to them. And so it could be, what is it, aluminum? Is it polyethylene glycol? Like, what else is in there? So that is my, hesitation. And I don't think most people think to even question that, but I do. So I'll take a patch any day. Yeah, we're so fortunate that these do so much.
Yes, divine technology. Did you say why the Alavida is a night patch?
Yeah, the reason why is because one of the many side benefits of Alavida is that it elevates your endogenous levels of melatonin a little bit, not a lot, but a little. And melatonin is your sleep hormone. It's also produced in the pineal gland, like epithalamin is. And that pineal gland is teeny tiny, but boy, it's powerful. And so that's why it is recommended for nighttime use, because if you're elevating your melatonin levels, why take a supplement?
Right.
And there are some issues with melatonin supplements too. So
that's really coming out.
Yeah. Again, don't take it if you can make it.
For sure.
So our bodies don't typically regenerate collagen, or so we've been told, but through this patch and it activating the peptides that create our own collagen, that's where that's affected and can be actually producing collagen. Is that correct?
That's right. Yeah, absolutely. Collagen is the most abundant protein in your whole body. Wow. And yeah. So when it kind of helps, it's part of let's say it's one of the ingredients in our fascia and connective tissues, and you've got collagen in you from head to toe. But as we age, and depending upon lifestyle factors, we produce less and less, and we start to get wrinkled and aches and pains and different things. So yeah, again, rather than taking a collagen supplement, no judgment, but if you can elevate your own native endogenous forms of collagen, again, that's always going to be the best.
Now, you were saying,
Go ahead.
Go ahead.
Go ahead.
It's okay. Go ahead. Finish.
Well, I
with
was
this
just going to
one.
say, as far as the C-section scar, I've had one for 47 years. I've had two for 47 and 42 years, but that was one of the first things I noticed. Not the first things, but one of the things I noticed, because I've always had this little raised scar tissue from that, having two on top of each other, and one day I heard someone mention that they had noticed scars were disappearing on their body from X39 and all, and the Alavida and what have you. So I thought, well, I might as well check on that. And sure enough, I mean, I was floored because I wasn't paying attention to that, but gone.
And that's common. I had several things happen to me as well that I didn't even put two and two together. It didn't dawn on me, and I heard other people talking about it, and that's what, that's so common. That's what this is all about. I was doing my hair one day in the bathroom, listening to a call, someone talking about the benefits she had received from, I don't even know what patch it was, maybe Alavida and X39, and she mentioned that her skin tags fell off. And I thought, and I looked in the mirror and I thought, oh my gosh, mine did too. I always had them on my neck, and my clothing and jewelry would catch on them and it would hurt, and they're gone. So yes, so many benefits, running the gamut from major important benefits to ones that don't seem so important. But really, when it comes to the skin, your skin is a reflection of what's inside, and oftentimes coming from the liver. But when someone has beautiful, vibrant skin, that's coming from the inside. And so I just love how Alavida does that work from the inside out.
It's great. That's great.
Yes.
Beth, did you have something?
No, I was just going to say the vanity effects are exciting, but what they're indicative is really the treat.
You're right. Yep.
Dr. Jen, you were saying that vitamin C was something that we couldn't make ourselves, and you said, if, don't take it externally if we can make it, but vitamin C is something that we definitely need to supplement. Or were there any other things that we need? I know that cellular dyes is something that is available now for us to use to make sure we have what we need to support the patches. So can you talk a little bit about that?
Yeah. I'm a huge fan of vitamin C. Vitamin C is the precursor to collagen, actually. So if you have ample amounts of vitamin C in your body, that will also help you to produce more collagen. So add that to this, and boy, what a 1-2 punch. And vitamin C, you can obtain obviously from food, citrus fruits, berries, things like that. Only a handful of vegetables, peppers, actually, bell peppers contain vitamin C. You wouldn't think that, but some vegetables do, including bell peppers. But yeah, I think vitamin C is an unsung hero. And I think that it does a lot more for the body than what it gets credit for. I just can't figure out why we can't make it. So I do obtain mine through diet, and then also I do supplement with vitamin C. And I'm a big fan of like whole food supplements, like vitamin C sourced from camu or amla, Indian gooseberry, goji berry, rose hips, those forms of vitamin C. But not everybody goes to the lengths that I do for sourcing and things like that. But so that's why I do love the Cellular's product, because it does help fill nutritional gaps that a lot of people have, especially for vegans. Vegans, because there are some amino acids and things in there that you only would get from like animal protein. And if someone's a vegan, they're not getting that animal protein. They might be getting protein from other sources, like there's protein in broccoli, for example, but it's not a complete protein with all 9 essential amino acids. So that's where Cellular's can really help and kind of fill in what they're lacking. And when you've got the raw materials to work with in your body, such as amino acids, copper, things like that, there's also copper in there, then your patches are going to work so much better.
Great,
Wow.
great information for sure. We're
Yeah.
filling the gaps, right? Especially
That's
the
right.
wrinkles.
Fill in the gaps. That's right.
Especially the wrinkles.
Well, and there are so many things out there that deplete our nutrients and minerals. So, I think we're just up against so much more than we used to be in the past. And especially this time of year, people call this cold and flu season. It's really sugar season. I mean, think about it. We go right Halloween and Thanksgiving and, and football season. We can't forget about that. And so there's all kinds of cookies and fudge and alcohol. Alcohol converts to sugar. So we
Yep.
do tend to consume a lot more sugar this time of year than the rest of the year. And one of the many things sugar does, it depletes the immune system and it depletes minerals, especially magnesium. And in fact, when my kids were young, they would go trick-or-treating. I would be sure and give them magnesium, supplement with magnesium that night and several nights after, because I knew they were going to be deficient. So there is magnesium in Cellular as well, both the day and night formula.
Everyone needs a mom like you.
Lucky kids.
They didn't think that when they were young,
Right.
but they're really coming around now. So I think they do appreciate it now.
It's funny how when they get older.
Isn't that something? Yeah, we're idiots when they're younger, but then the older they get, we turn into geniuses. I know it happened with my mother as well. I mean, she became a genius the older I got.
The older you got, the smarter she got.
That's right. Isn't that something how that works? So, paybacks.
Cute.
And I love how you were saying the Alavida patches it lengthens the telomeres.
Yeah.
Because I know from Dr. Bruce Lipton's work that telomeres do determine our longevity. The longer the telomeres, that means the longer that a person would live. And if they're shorter, that means they have a shorter lifespan. So the fact that we can lengthen those telomeres, that's amazing with Alavida.
It truly is. Even if Alavida had no other benefits, skin, sleep, anything else, if it just did that one thing by lengthening our telomeres, that'd be all I needed. Yeah. So yeah, there's so many multiple benefits from all of the patches. And again, I just love the fact that there are no side effects, only side benefits.
I like that.
Love that.
Yes.
All right. Beth and Tamisa, any last words or questions?
Oh, I just thank her so much.
Yeah, such good information. Thank you so much.
I appreciate you all so much. Thank you for having me on. It is truly an honor. So,
And Merry Christmas to you and your family.
Yes, indeed. Merry Christmas to you all as well.
Christmas.
Thank you so much for having me on. I hope I did okay with time. I guess we
You
are
did great.
At the cutoff. So
we're a little bit over, but it's okay.
All right, that's good.
Just a couple of minutes.
Yeah. I think we caused that though.
Yeah, we did.
It's all right.
Oh my gosh.
All
Good
right.
to
Well,
see you.
thank you so much.
Thank you all. You
Thank
too.
you.
Have a wonderful evening. We'll see you
Yeah,
again
you too.
soon.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Right. Bye-bye. All right. Well, that was wonderful. And I just
So
want to
good.
let everyone know in the audience that to get your hands on these patches, please contact the person who invited you to this webinar and, or Tamisa, Beth, or myself. We'd be happy to get you set up with these patches. So until next time, we will see you. Thank you so much for
Bye-bye.
watching.
Thank
Take care,
you.
everyone.
Leslie,
Bye.
Bye-bye.